Welcome to Off Grid Victory. So this is late in the fall season, heading towards winter very quickly. And what are we doing here today with let's see, a hammer and vice grips and a rock? Well, we're working with these today. So what is this guy right here? Well, this comes from the American black walnut tree, and of course, what is it? It is the old black walnut. So I managed to go deep into the woods and get a harvest of black walnuts. Here they are right here. And I want to tell you what you can do with these guys, as well as when to harvest them and things like that. So I was a little late in the season, and unfortunately the old, the rat variety, the squirrels, came and ate most of these, but pretty much all of them actually. But I was able to salvage a few for myself. And there's a couple things you can do. Now, I like to just leave it out like this to dry out completely. And once they dry out, I kind of hit it with a hammer and get the skins off. Now, the skin itself has a lot of medicinal properties. You can look it up. People make tinctures with them. I think maybe even do stuff like deworming. Anyway, I'm not a medical doctor. It's not medical advice at any rate. But the fruit inside the nut, of course, you can eat. And so, yeah, this is the black walnut, and it does taste like walnut. I mean, my wife says it has kind of a like a blue cheese kind of flavor that she doesn't like. But as you can see, I just cracked one open here, and like I said, this is the outer skin, and then inside here is the outer shell for the nut. And if you let it go long enough, this will be brittle and it'll come off. And the reason why I like to just let it sit like this and dry out is a couple reasons. First of all, it makes it easier to take this off, and then you don't stain your hands. Because the other thing you can use with this, where the skin can be used for, is to make dyes, right? So it makes a nice, like, brownish dye. And you can concentrate it and use it for natural dyes. But at any rate, yeah, I don't want it all on my hands, right? And I don't want to stain my hands. So I just let it all dry out like that. When they fall, they are kind of green. And then they'll lose all of their green and then go this color. And then, what I'd like to do is let it dry out. And then once it's dry enough, I will remove it, which I'm about to do now. I just cracked this one open to show you, but I'm going to remove the skin just to complete the drying process. It takes a few weeks for the nuts to kind of dry out and get nice, and to separate from the shell here. Right now it's not completely separated. You can see here I'm doing it with one hand. It's coming out a little bit, but not well enough for me. And so I'm not going to be able to eat these right away, but I'm going to go ahead and take the outer skin off of all of these and let it dry like this, in this form, like that. And then I'll take a hammer to it and vice grips and things like that, and get to the nut. And the nut, I find it pleasant, but some people don't. It is very different than the walnuts you get at the store, because that type is the English variety. So, if you ever get it, it'll have a nice smooth kind of exterior. The American walnut does not. Okay. I get that. I guess that's the difference between Americans and the British, right? And the Americans are a little rougher, and that's what the black walnut is, or the American walnut. But anyway, the fruit is very good, and in my opinion, and I would go ahead and try to harvest these, as many as you can, before the squirrels get them all. Unfortunately, at this late of the season, yeah, the squirrels got what they got. Excuse my eating here, and I got what I got, which wasn't much, but at any rate, I got something. And of course, you can plant these directly into the ground as well, and they'll become black walnut trees at some point. Alrighty, shalom.